Well, Chris, I guess first of all, we need to start with the news from the week that Sam Pearson's extended his loan till January. I imagine you're very pleased with that indeed.
Yeah, really pleased. Sam's been a bright spark, and I think the fans have taken to him straight away, which is great. Unfortunately, he's had a bit of a niggle, which has kept him out of Saturday's game. So we're hopeful that he can make this Saturday's. But yeah, that's been a bit disappointing because he looked like he had that bit of momentum and a bit between his teeth to go and get his career going. He's highly thought of still at Bristol City, but I think it's good to go and play games somewhere. So hopefully he gets himself fit for Saturday.
That will be positive because I imagine he's frustrated as well because he is one of those players that gets fans off their seats, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's been a bit frustrating with some of these things. The first week we lost Knowlesy. The second week, Big Ben got injured, and the third week Sam wasn't fit. But you gotta adapt, and you gotta rotate players and get over it. So fingers crossed he's fit. If not, give somebody else a chance.
And on that, you thought that Ben might be back for Saturday. It was too soon for him. Do you think he'll be available for one of the upcoming 2 games?
Yeah, he'll be available. So that's a good plus. So we've got, like every team, they've got these fixtures this weekend, which are incredibly tight, aren't they? It's probably too much really at this level to play those amounts of games in quick succession, but gives people a chance to I suppose prove that they should get in the team and stay in the team.
And we've spoken about the amount of loans a number of times, haven't we? That you've got 6 and you kind of need to rotate and one misses out. I know it's not ideal for you as a manager, but is that good for these 2 games that you can rotate a little bit more?
Yeah, well, it has to be, doesn't it? We've got to, I've got to use these boys for sure because they're chomping at the bit to get minutes. I understand that, and we're in a position where we don't want to overload it with lads on loan for sure. But the boys that have come in have been excellent as individuals. They've trained brilliantly. Yes, some of them are young lads, but they have to go and find their feet somewhere. But they've got to earn it. They've got to train well. They've got to show us that they're ready to play in this first team because it's a tough standard for sure. So pick a team for Saturday, and then we'll review it after the game. I've already got in mind what we might have to do with such a quick turnaround. But again, it's lads showing up in training and showing me that they want to get in the team.
Sorry, what I was saying was that you brought in those loans. You brought in Jimmy Toure. We spoke just after the Tom Knowles sale. You were given assurances that you've got a little bit of extra budget. Have you still got those assurances? Are you looking to bring in anyone else?
Yeah, we will. Hopefully there'll be 2 announced for the weekend. So again, it's something that we're keen to do. We need to bolster the squad. Scott's been supportive with that, so that's positive. And whoever we bring into the building's got to, believe that they come and affect this football club in the right way. And so, yeah, there'll be a couple announced before the weekend.
I'm sure fans will be happy to hear that. So we've touched on it. 2 games in 3 days. It's a big adjustment, isn't it? The travel and the recovery. How do you approach it?
Well, you have to concentrate on this first game, don't you? And make sure you approach that properly and with a strong mentality, which we are doing. We're playing against a good side in Dagenham. They've certainly invested, and they look a capable side again. Darryl knows the league inside and out, so it's a tough test. But we're at home. We're I think we've performed well in the majority of the games, and perhaps haven't capitalised when we've been on top. If I reflect back on Saturday, it's probably the game I'm least happy about. I think we've been dominant in periods of the others. But on Saturday, with essentially 2 minutes to go, you got to see it out. So that was the disappointment Saturday. But the lads have been very good this week, and we're focused on this period. I think as a player, you'd really look forward to it, and you think you can play in both games. But the reality is, as we know, that there'll be some stiff bodies on that Sunday morning, and so we'll have to make a judgment on Sunday to see who can. Because some will have to play those 2 games. Plenty will have to play those 2 games. But certainly it'll be an opportunity for a couple that perhaps think they've been out of the picture to come back in and show us what they can do.
Is it a difficult balance for you as a manager? You're obviously waiting for that first win. It feels like it's very close. So you don't want to change it too much for either game, but you've got to manage their bodies for the games coming up as well.
No, it's a good point. You can chase it a little bit, and you can, if you see a game out, the week might be different. We've worked very hard. We've looked at a lot of things. The lads have responded to it, and they've done it. So, yeah, there is a delicate balance. Do you make a lot of changes in system and personnel, or do you stick with it because you're very close? That's the balance that we've hopefully got to get right. And that's what we've looked at all week. So one thing that's maintained is the lads as determined as they were at the start of the season and in pre-season to perform. I have to thank the fans for the turnout on Saturday. It was magnificent. And I told the boys in the change room after the game how disappointed I was that they didn't send them home with 3 points, because they should have done. So they've got those messages, and we need them again this Saturday, because when we've had that support, which has been consistent from the day I walked in, the lads love it, and they know how much the club means to the fans. So again, we've reiterated those messages this week, and I want to see that in their performance on Saturday.
And speaking to you and to Lawson after the game, you're very keen not to make excuses about the lack of game time that some of the players have had, the youngsters that you've got in the squad. Is it important that you have voices like that just to get that win over the line?
Yeah, this is not, a result on a Sunday morning. It doesn't have a list of excuses under it. It just has a result. So you've got to deal with that. And, if you drew 2-2, you deserve to draw 2-2, and you've just got to sort of get over it quickly. I think that's the thing in this game. You've got to get over it quickly. So we play in a game on Saturday, we review it quickly on Sunday, we move on, and we play in a game on Monday. And I think I've got to say that to all the players. But we do need those players that have formed the core of this team, that have remained at this football club. I have asked them to step up. I have asked them to be the men, because they're the ones that with the experience. So that's what I'll be looking for on Saturday. There's enough in there to galvanise the younger players in the group.
And is it a different challenge facing someone like Dagenham, who have been in this league for a number of years, almost got into the playoffs a few times, and then you're facing Wealdstone, who I think have probably surprised a few this season with their start? Yeah,
they have. They've done a little bit of both, haven't they? They've invested, and they've also done a bit of crowdfunding to get players through in Wealdstone. I think Dagenham probably see themselves as needing to challenge, because I know Daryl's determined as a manager, and he probably it's another club that sees itself in the league, like many in this league do, rightly so as well. But we've got to just concentrate on ourselves. I think when we've done well, when we've performed well, we've concentrated on what we can do well, and how we can pass the ball, and how we can get forward, and how we can create. You've got to be mindful of who you're playing, because there aren't any. The days of the inverted commas non-league and conference are over. Every team are decent outfits. Every team have got dangers, and we're a very, very good football club that wants to compete at the top of this league. At the moment, we're not, and there's no one more frustrated than than me. I can assure you with that. So performances in the main have been good. And as I say, as I reflect on a lot of the games we've played in, you could have won 3-4 games, never mind one. So when you're on top, score. And if you don't, be damn resilient and don't concede. And they're the messages again for this weekend.
Has that been sort of the focus of this week, particularly defensively? I mean, Paul McCallum, we all know how many times he's scored in this division. It's going to be a danger, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He started well again, and you know, he runs forward when the ball's out wide, which all good strikers should do. He's a threat in the air, and so of course we know he's one of their threats, definitely. But we've got to look to ourselves, got to look to our own performances, and you know, I've asked a couple of individuals to step up and now become the man. You know, I brought them to the football club to deliver, and I want them to do that. And so there've been some positive messages, but honest messages this week.
Well, good luck for the two games, and I'm sure the win's coming.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Hi, AD. How are you?
Yeah, good. Very good at the moment. Frustration. It's a word that we use too often, and you must be suffering from it quite a lot lately. You know, how do you overcome that? I mean, like you say, you know, Saturday, it must have been so disappointing. 2, 3 or 4 minutes away from victory, and it's snatched away from you. How do you lift them after that?
Well, you know, I have had to get over it quickly because that's what I have to do. And as a player, you just want to get back on the training ground. You want to get back with the boys in the changing room. What we've got to do is we have to break it down, look at what we can do better. As I say, there was too many spells where we weren't in control, and we have been in games. And so, but it boils down to that steely determination to lock on when a cross is coming in, or stop a cross, or stay with your man, all these things that we use, and we didn't quite see it out. And we've had a good chat about it with the players, and I think they get the message, that's for sure. And they did after the game. But I can't criticize what they're giving me on output and energy and damn right will to run. They do that, but it's just that little bit of game understanding that I want to see a game out. So we're not far into the season. I get that, but I don't want to be where we are. I want to be challenging, and I've told the players that. I've come to the football club to be successful personally, and I want everyone to believe that they can be. We've got a massive uphill challenge, as we know, because financially we're playing against a lot of clout in the league, but you can't use that excuse every week. And as I say, the players have reacted really well, AD. They've trained well. That's all I can ask of them, to train well. But now they've got to take those pointers in and understand that if we have to see a game out, we do everything to do that.
We hear the expression game management thrown about on Match of the Day and everything else. Do you spend much time on game management issues, really? Because I mean, presumably Saturday you could put that down to game management, I guess.
Good. Yeah, definitely. And listen, as a manager or a coach, I always look at myself first, AD, and I've got no problem doing that. And you know, could I have done something different? Potentially. Did I see us in much danger at that point? No, I didn't. But seeing it out, as I say, once those boys are over the white line, once they're in that game, they know that they've got to stop across. They know that they've got to lock on in the 18-yard box, because that's what we do. That's what we do in training. What I would say is he won't score a header like that for the rest of his career. There's an element of luck about that goal that I don't want to use luck in this job, because you make your own luck. But if he scores another one of those in a million attempts, I'd be surprised. But it doesn't excuse the fact that there was 5 of our players in the box, there was 2 of theirs, and one of them got a head on it. And the facts are we've got to lock on quicker. But they I've given them the messages a few times with my voice, and we've looked at different scenarios in training to try and stop that happening again.
Now you've got a vastly experienced management team there, and yourself with Chris and Marcus, and you've got a goalkeeping coach as well.
Yeah.
You know, do you find that the players are responding to what you're asking them to do? I mean, are they?
Yeah, no, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. When you look at pre-season, we probably weren't creating enough, and we were really resilient. We've gone sort of, I won't say totally the other way. We need to get that resilience back of clean sheet mentality. Thou shalt not pass. I've got to defend for my life, and kill teams when you get chances. I think chances we didn't create as much as I wanted to on Saturday. No doubt about that. In the previous game, I think we probably had 15 situations where we should either score or do better. So we, as I say, all we can do is try and put the pointers on in training, and we've done that. We've had another session today. I had to cut it short because the boys are chomping at the bit. 2 hours into the session, there's only so much you can do. They've got to deliver when they step at the white line.
In case of Marcus shot, I mean, we all know Marcus. If it comes to scoring goals, he's the man, really, because he's scored so many in his career. One, how's he getting on in the role? Two, is he likely to go full time? Do you think at any stage?
No, not at the moment. No, remaining as it is at the moment at this stage. But Marcus, good friend of mine, adds a lot of value, and I think when you look at the strikers, Fish is desperate to score. He's working hard, but we want him to work within that 18-yard box and be the talisman and be that target man. Jimmy's come in and scored already. Mal's got 2 in 4. So there are, Jamie Records scored 2 as an attacking wing back. So that there has been that attacking mindset, definitely, and a lot of the lads perhaps have had chances to score. We've flipped it this week, and we've tried to show a bit more resilience.
Now you've got a pretty healthy squad.
Yeah,
getting bigger all the time. How are you managing to keep the players that are chafing at the bit, as you put it? They want to get on and play. I mean, what about Alfie Pond, for example? Is he likely to get a look in, do you think, soon?
Yeah, training well, no doubt about it. And was in my thoughts for last weekend, and will be in my thoughts this weekend, no doubt about that. It is a balance. There's no question, and keeping players happy that are out the team is half the job, to be honest. That's the same for every manager, AD, isn't it? But I get your point. I get your point. At some point, they need to be given a chance, and they will be.
Yeah. Max Evans got a bit of an injury, I gather, out on loan. Is he okay? Is he going to be going back out, or what's the situation?
Yeah, it's not a good injury at the moment. We've got to get a second opinion on it. It's not as bad as we thought it might be. We thought it was as bad as it could be, which is obviously the ACL, which would keep him out for a long time. As it is, it's not brilliant news for the lad. It'll keep him out for a couple of months for sure. But it could have been a lot worse. But very unfortunate for him to have that so early on. I'm gutted for the lad because he's a fantastic individual.
You obviously got a few other players out on loan. How are they getting on generally? Okay.
Yeah, really well. Toby had a little niggle, Toby Stevens, so that was frustrating for him. So he's missed some. But Ollie Haste has been excellent. Ollie Haste has performed very well. So that's a good plus for us. And it's the same for the loan lads here. I know that, if you're the club loaning the player, you want to see them get game time. I appreciate that. But we've got a job to do to pick the team that at that time we feel is the strongest to go against the opposition. And that's what we've done in every game. But over this weekend, I want them all ready to take part. Sadly, in this league, you can only have 5 subs. So it does make it even more competitive when you're picking that bench. But same for everyone.
You must be delighted to have got the Sam Pearson extension over the line. As you know, he's certainly looking to be a bright spark in the team.
Yeah, he has been, hasn't he? He's looked sharp. He's looked like he wants to attack and create, and he got a bit of rough treatment on Tuesday, which has meant that he missed Saturday, which is a shame because we missed him. And let's hope he can get through for this weekend. Not sure yet whether it's going to be Saturday or Monday, or either. So we'll just have to wait and see. He took a sort of serious knock, and it's caused him a bit of a problem. And as I say, it's going to be right down to the wire to see if he makes it for Saturday. If he does, great. If he doesn't, then the next focus for him is Monday. But yeah, he's done very well so far.
You talk about 2 games in succession. I mean, I suppose looking on the bright side, at least Wealdstone's not Halifax or somewhere like that up in the wild north. It's not too bad. But I mean, do you find that there's more pressure on you when you're at home than you're away?
No, I don't think so. I think we've enjoyed playing at home. I don't think the 2 games we've had so far, I think that I hope that any fans watched the game knows that the Wrexham game, we were in the ascendancy second half and we got a decent draw. I'd love to have nicked it at the end, and we've had things flashed across the box. So I hope the fans went out happy that day with what we produced. The Barnet game, I think that's the anomaly that we've had in the season. You normally get one at some point, and that for me was that game. We created enough to win a game. We were front foot enough to win a game, and we switched off for some critical periods, and were punished badly. So I think personally that the home games, the lads like playing at home. They want to play at home, and we're looking forward to this game. I really am. I mean, spending time this morning at the training ground and seeing 80 young children running around with Yeovil shirts on. It's brilliant listening to how many of them want to come and watch the game. And I said to the boys, you've got to be privileged to see this, to be signing pictures, to be asked for an autograph. This is what this club's about. And that's why I'm desperate to get the players to see it and understand it and take that into their game on a Saturday. The amount of kids this morning that said they would go into the game this Saturday was incredible. The lads have got to see that, and they've got to thrive off it. So the answer to that question was a very long one, AD, but it is that we love playing at home and we want more fans to come and see us.
Right. Well, 2 more quick ones then. First of all, are you likely to do a meet the fans type of evening where you invite some of the fans up and you have a chat with them all?
Well, I think the fans will want me to win a game before I do that, won't they? Otherwise, it'll be a rotten tomato competition. But no, yeah. Of course. Yeah, I've got nothing, I've got no problem answering questions. The fans are what pay the players' wages, and they are the lifeblood of what we are all about. So I want them to be with us, and they have been. I can't fault them at all. And I'm open to any questions at any point. So I'm ready for the invite, AD.
Right. And finally, you mentioned you got possibly a couple of signings on the weekend. Can you give us a clue? Can you give us just a snippet of information on who or what they might be?
No.
All right. No.
No, it won't be long, AD. It won't be long before they're announced, so no one's going to really miss out on any time. It will be today or early tomorrow. So there's nothing. There's no big time delay. It's just trying to do it right, trying to do it in the correct manner. But another positive for us. So appreciate the support to be able to do that. And as I say, it's up to them to come in and hit the ground running and show us they're a good player.
Okay, Chris. Well, that's excellent. Best of luck Saturday and Monday.
Thanks, AD. Thank you very much.
6 points out of 6 would be lovely.
That's what we want.